true. Standing here beside you, want so much to give you this love in my heart that I'm feeling for you.
Let them say we're crazy, I don't care about that. Put your hand in my hand, baby, don't ever look back. If the world around us just fall apart, baby, we can make it if we're heart to heart.
And we can build this dream together, stand strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. And if this world runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now. I'm so glad I found you. I'm not gonna lose you. Whatever it takes, I will stay here with you. Take you to the good times, see it through the bad times. Whatever it takes is what I'm gonna do.
Let them say we're crazy, what do they know? Throw your arms around me, baby, don't ever let go. If the world around us should fall apart, baby, we can make it if we're heart to heart.
And we can build this dream together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. And if this world runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us. All that I need is you.
All that I ever need.
All that I wanna do is hold forever, ever and ever. And we can build this dream together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. And if this world runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us. We can build this dream together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us. World runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us.
Hello, everybody. I'm back. It is Monday, June 3rd, 2024, here in northern New Jersey. Beautiful northern New Jersey. Beautiful weather we've been having. Hello, Teresa Murphy. How are you, hon? Good to see you. I hope you're well. The weather here has been absolutely gorgeous the whole weekend, even today. And this week looks really, really good. Well, I'm back. I'm happy to be back. I missed you guys. I missed not doing shows. Things are looking better for me. I'm feeling better. And I want to say that I want to thank everyone for all the kind comments that they wrote on my shows, which was very, very nice, and I appreciate it very, very much. which leads me to tonight's title, When a Listener Gets to You. Now, that's a play on words, because when you read that title, you kind of think it's something negative, like a listener did something to me, aggravated me, or just, did something to me. But it's just the opposite. It's a listener who affected me emotionally by something that they wrote. Something that they wrote which was sincere and from the heart. Now, I'm not saying that what everyone else wrote wasn't nice, but this particular listener went out of his or her way to comment on one of my shows and to talk a little bit about their life and how they got through a difficult time. And it really, really touched me, and that's why I decided to do a show on this. Hello, Chromo. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Now, I'm going to read something to you. I'm going to read exactly what this listener wrote to me. Okay? I'm not going to divulge their name because I didn't ask permission, but it is a listener who is a dedicated listener. Now, as a show host and as a content creator, we have all types of people that listen to our show. We have dedicated listeners that come to our shows and listen to them all the time when they're not busy. Then we have the other listeners who come in once in a while, when they're not busy, to stop by. And then, of course, we have the jerks, that come in and wreak havoc and cause all kinds of problems and harass other listeners and harass the content creators and, just cause a whole bunch of headaches. So we have a wide variety of listeners, and the thing I want to say is that your dedicated listeners that come in all the time, after a while you get to bond with them a little bit. You get to know their personalities. You get to know a little bit about them, and they get to know a little bit about them. And you kind of become close. You really do. So let me read what this particular listener wrote to me, which really got to me. It really did. And it takes a lot to get to me. I mean, it really choked me up. They start off, in fact, let me get my glasses. They start off by saying, Ralphie. And everybody calls me Ralphie. I just want to let you know you're in my prayers. Whether we see you on here or not for a while, I haven't forgotten you. You are a good man, a talented man, and a friend. I'm not sure this may help, but I can understand somewhat how you may be feeling, while I have never been ill like you're experiencing. I do know how uncertainty in the future can cause certain fears and anxieties. While I was away incarcerated, my anchor to the outside was my family, and the fact that I had no control over what was going on with them, had no way to protect them or help them, to father my two oldest and guide them the way they needed, and it broke my heart, and it wore on my mind like nothing else ever had. When my first wife finally came to visit me and told me she was divorcing me, being unable to do anything but sort of being an observer of my own life falling apart was very surreal. Many, many, many nights and days I felt to my own thoughts and helplessness of not being able to do anything about it, and it drove me at the wall. You have to find something to keep your mind occupied, a way to escape from the whirlwind of reality at times, when there is nothing you can do to change whatever is happening. Comfort is often taken for granted, just as health often is. I know it might sound, well, the hell with how it sounds. Sometimes when the burden on your back starts to feel heavier than you can bear, you just have to give in to God. Everything as it is has always been in his hands to begin with, and I know for me as a man, losing control of control was extremely hard. I don't think if I didn't have my faith, I would have feared as well as I did. I was never one for allowing myself to be simply a passenger to my own destiny, my life, but in times of adversity like this, you may not have a choice. I don't know your relationship with religion or God or beliefs, but I can tell you from me, without something to believe in, I would have come home a very, very angry, jaded, and vile man. I don't know if any of this helps, but but I hope it does. Know in my prayers, my friend, I hope you may find comfort in something, and if you cannot, give it to God. I hope I've made sense and am not just sounding like I'm rambling. As always, I hope and pray for you and the best for you and all of my friends and family. God bless you, Ralph, and stay strong. Now, that is a very, very beautiful comment, which, as you can tell, comes from the heart. It's very sincere. This individual talks a little bit about themselves and their life and trying to help me out at the same time. And believe me, it really helped me. It really choked me up. But on the other hand, it did help me. It did help me. And I thought it was necessary, to do a quick show about this. It's funny because, and one thing I want to tell you, something very important. If you have a health plan, make sure you look into your health plan and you find out all the things that are covered. Because when I was in the hospital, now I'm getting these hospital bills. I'm getting these bills of things that I thought were covered and are not covered. So I never really looked at my hospital health plan before I went to the hospital. Yeah, that's something you don't do, But now I'm getting all these surprises. I'm getting all these bills. So your health plan, whatever it may be, you may want to look into it and find out the things that it's covered. It's covering. Very, very important. Because I was blindsided. I really was. And it was a real surprise. But anyway, I'm doing better. The last month and a half, it was really, really rough. I couldn't do any shows. And I wasn't going to come on and do a show and project myself as being miserable, because that's exactly what I was. The show should be something that's fun, and should be some laughter in it. And I didn't want to project and bring my listeners down, so I thought it best not to do a show. And then last Sunday, when I was going to do a show, I took this new medication, and it made me very, very nauseous. So I didn't end up doing the show. Then last night, I started to do the show. My whole internet system went down. So this is like a makeup show from last night, because I don't normally do a Monday night show. So I hope you're all doing well. Teresa, I've been watching you. And Cromwell, I've been seeing you in a lot of different chats, Edmund's chats. Are you guys still here? I've been seeing you. But like I said, this was something that I thought up and thought that, I should talk about this, because, like I said, as a show host or content creator, we have a wide variety of listeners and all types of, opinions, And I have to say that since the time that I started my first show up until right now, present day, I really never had a problem with my listeners. I mean, my listeners have always been respectful toward me and toward one another, which, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Not to say that, somebody won't come in and, cause havoc. But that's, you got to expect that. There's some stupid people out there, But you'll never see drama on my show. Not for me anyway, because I'm just not into that. I don't get involved in that. I like to come on. And, to be honest with you, too, I really did miss not doing the show. And I did miss my listeners. If you're doing something that you enjoy and that you like, and then all of a sudden it's kind of taken away from you, you do miss it. I mean, I do. I mean, I don't know if everybody feels the way that I do. But I did, I missed it. Because this is the kind of thing that I've been doing for years, and I've always been in front of the camera or in some form of entertainment. So, you do miss it, and you do miss your listeners. And like I said, I did miss doing the show. But and I know I haven't been consistent, and consistency is very, very important when you are doing shows. If you can't do a show every day, or if you can't do a show every other day, at least do a show once a week. And Sunday night is the night that I picked to do a show, which, through no fault of my own, the consistency just wasn't there. But I'm really, really going to dedicate myself to doing a Sunday night show. As a matter of fact, I already have next week's show, or is it this Sunday's show, already lined up. I already know what I'm going to talk about. So, those are just a few things that I wanted to mention. Right now, hold on one second. I'm going to cover something that I haven't done before. Okay, current events. Current events. What's happening in current events? Hi, Bella. How are you, hon? I am, Bella. Thank you so much. I'm getting stronger every day. Current events. Well, everybody knows that Donald Trump was convicted. All right. Well, and everybody knows that Donald Trump was railroaded. Now, what's going to happen to him? I mean, I could speculate. I could say this is going to happen, that's going to happen, but nobody really knows. But I will tell you one thing. After he was convicted, his popularity shot way up, and he collected he collected $52 million in one night by his people who follow him, like me or maybe you, and that's, giving tens and fives and, 20s, 52 million. Now he's up to 125 million. So what does that say? We all know that he was screwed. We all know that. Now, I'm a Trump fan, and I mean no disrespect to anybody that voted for Biden, but I'm very sorry. Biden has got to go. He's got to go. He destroyed this country. And I can tell you that if Donald Trump wins, which he is going to win, the next day, he's going to start his plan, the very next day. In the other news, Robert De Niro. I wouldn't give you 2 cents for him. I'll never watch another one of his movies. He's only 8% Italian. He acted like a real jerk in New York, but he got it right up his ass by Trump followers. He really did. What he did was he ruined his reputation and he destroyed his credibility. These actors and actresses, they should stay out of politics. They bring it into the Academy Awards. They bring it into the Grammy Awards. That was never before. Leave it out. Hold on a second. I want to read what Bella. Bella's saying, I just wish that money could have went to the Children's Hospital for Cancer or something that people really needed the money. Well, that's true. Hi, Patty. How are you, hon? Good to see you. Well, Bella, you're right. You're right. I mean, but these people that donated, I mean, obviously they're like you and I. They're people who are going to vote for him. But 52 million? Come on, in like a day and a half after he was convicted? I mean, that the Democrats are against him. That, I don't want to talk too heavily about this, but anybody that voted for Trump, anybody that likes Trump, we all know that he got railroaded. He's getting screwed. And, like you said, if it could happen to him, it can happen to anybody. So we just have to wait and see July what happens. Like I said, I can speculate. Will he be wearing a ankle bracelet? Will he be restricted? I don't think he's going to do any jail time. I honestly don't think that. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think he's going to do any jail time. And we just got to wait and see. And I know that they're going to appeal it. They definitely are going to appeal it, and there are some mistakes that were made which they can bring forth into court on the appeal. So we just have to, wait and see what happens. But to be honest with you, I kind of fear what's going to happen in November. I really do. I mean, this country is so messed up. Patty. Patty, you always crack me up. I agree with you, Patty. He is, you know what? You can't take this away from him. He's a very good actor, okay? But I don't know what happened to him. I really don't. You see, he has a personal vendetta against Trump. And from what I understand, and I could be wrong, don't quote me on this, is that at one time he was involved in the casino that was going to be built, and Trump's people put the kibosh on it, and the casino never materialized. So people say that he has a personal vendetta against Trump. But the way he acted in New York, and he's telling the supporters, "Fuck you," and they're giving it right back to him. They're calling him a scumbag, a piece of shit. Your movies suck. You're washed up. So they gave it right back to him. And Hollywood's watching this, And his new movie came out, and people are boycotting his new movie. But really, it wasn't necessary what he did. He made a complete asshole out of himself. He really did. And Patty puts it mildly by saying filth. I have a few other words that I could use for him, but it was totally unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. So that's the story with current events right now. I'm only going to cover a little current events. I'm going to cover current events from now on. In the beginning of the show, just what's going on in the United States and what's going on in my town and all over the place. So. I don't know about that, Patty. Patty's saying that he's not a good actor, that he plays the same character all the time. Well, let me think what else he played in. I think he played in other movies where he wasn't a gangster, if I'm right. But you know what? I can't name him even because I only remember him as playing gangster. So, listen, everybody has their own opinion. But I think we would all agree that he's a real lowlife for doing what he did. Totally unnecessary. Anyway, so I'm going to be doing the current events in the beginning of the show. This is not going to be a long show. I just wanted to cover that. But I will tell you that next week's show is going to be entitled Show Me the Proof. Show Me the Proof is the title of this Sunday night show. Is it this Sunday's night? Because this is Monday. This Sunday's night show. And Show Me the Proof is something that goes on in life every day on YouTube and off of YouTube. And of course, when I do the show, I'll elaborate on that. And I'm going to try to pick things that happen in everyday life. Crazy Kid, how are you, buddy? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Oh, Patty, you kill me. He's a mook. No, you know what he is, Patty? He's a Svachim. That's exactly what he is. I'm losing my voice. I'm sorry, guys. Crazy Kid, it's good to see you. He's a mook. Well, what could I say? I agree with you 100%. But I'll never watch another one of his films. He's washed up. I mean, come on. He's 80 years old. 80 years old, you get a 25-year-old pregnant. Come on. And didn't he have a kid with her? This 25-year-old? I mean, I'm not up to date on everything, but I think he did. And correct me if I'm wrong. Are you having a tough time, Crazy Kid? It's been up and down for you? What do you mean it's been up and down for you? Listen, it's been up and down for me for 2 months with my health. One thing I want to say to you also is, and think about this seriously, ladies and gentlemen, is that your life can change in a matter of minutes. A matter of minutes. It could be turned upside down, filled with chaos. And I don't want to talk about myself, but one day you're fine, and then the next day, there's all these things that are wrong with you, and you're heading to the hospital, and your life is turned upside down. The thing is, try to change the things that you can change when something like that happens. And the things that you can't change, because there's going to be things that you can't change, let them go. Try to keep your life at some kind of normalcy, even though everything is topsy-turvy. Try to laugh, try to smile, try to keep a positive attitude. Now, that's all easier said than done because it's very, very hard to do that when your whole world is topsy-turvy. Like I said, 1 minute you're fine, the next minute everything is, which direction do I head in? Especially when it deals with your health. Now, God forbid, I don't hope that's never happened to you. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't, and I hope it never does. But you have to prepare yourself because your life can change in a matter of minutes. Crazy Kid, I don't know if you want. Oh, The Deer Hunter, yes. That's a movie that he didn't play a gangster. But that was very early in his career. Cromwell, you're right. That's one movie he didn't play a gangster. I'm sure there's a few other ones. I don't know all of them. The ones that he didn't play a gangster, I wasn't interested in. Because I'm interested in the gangster movies. Well, yeah, Crazy Kid, you're right. Maybe you're experiencing something like I did. That's what life is. That's. I've been there. I've been there, and I'm sure some of us have been there. But you have to pick yourself up. And I know it's easier said than done. It's always easier said than done. It's like I said, it's very difficult to stay positive when you're going through all these things. If it's financial, if it's health, health is tough because without your health, you really can't do anything. I was 2 weeks in the hospital and then 2 weeks in rehabilitation. Anyway. But Patty, you subscribe to Clayton? Yeah, Clayton is really good. I've been listening to him for about 6 years. He's very good. I think he is. He covers things in the news that the regular mainstream media doesn't cover. And he tells it like it is. He's very intelligent. He was a newscaster for 20 years. And he's an entrepreneur. He's into a lot of real estate heavily. He's into stocks. And I mentioned this many, many times. I made some money with him a while back on stocks. But I think he's very, very good. His show is called Redacted. If you want to look up his show, Redacted, Redacted. And that's Clayton Mars. And he does a show with his wife. He also does shows on, he's into the paranormal. He's into UFOs, so he's into other things too. And he does shows on them as well. But his main show is the news around the world. Yeah, his wife, oh God, I got a mental block. I forgot her name. She's so cute. And she's very intelligent too. Would you believe this? I watch him every day and I forgot his wife's name. Oh my God. I gotta take Gin Coca for the brain. What the hell is his wife's name? Oh gosh. Patty, if you know her name, help me out because I'm telling you, I watch him every day. His wife's on all the time. I forgot her name. I'm losing it. But anyway, check him out. He's very, very good. I highly recommend him. Just check him out. You don't have to subscribe to him. Well, Crazy Kid, a lot of us go through those periods where everything goes wrong and where you turn around and this happens, you turn around and that happens, and it just like beats you down. And like I said 4 times already, it's so very hard to stay positive when you're going through that. It's hard to put a smile on your face. It could make you depressed, but that's just part of life. You got to pick yourself up, and you just have to move on. Like like I said 5 times already, easier said than done. Easier said than done. But you got to really, really try. I mean, you know, but a lot of us have gone through that. I've gone through that. I mean, look what I just gone through for 2 months. You know, I'm out of work. I'm not working right now. The doctors won't release me to work. I have to have surgery. I have a leaky heart valve. That's what brought me to the hospital to begin with. The operation is not really a big operation, but I have AFib. That's what brought me to the hospital in the first place. So what they're doing right now is they're strengthening my heart for when I do go into surgery. And like I said, the surgery is not a big deal. You know, correcting a leaky heart valve is a common operation, which is only a couple hours, and you go home. You know, modern medicine. So but the only bad thing is, you know, I'm so used to working every day that I'm just basically hanging around, and I'm not used to doing that. You know, and it's like driving me up the wall. Patty, you're in rare form tonight. It's good to see you, Patty. I haven't seen you in a while. I like some of the comments that you made on my in the past. I read them. 53 years, crazy kid. It's been happening for 53 years? I would say that, you know, I don't know what to say. I mean, something good is, it's got to happen. After being monetized since January, the channel finally reached the 100th threshold, and I get my first check soon. Good. Hey, crazy kid, let me tell you something. I have $37 in the YouTube account, and as you know, they will not release the $37 until I get 100. So that $37 has been in there for like 8 months. You know, and like, YouTube is a multi-million-dollar company. Come on, you're keeping $37? It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. My cardiologist, Patty, is Dr. DiFilippo in Montclair. A very good cardiologist. You know, I had, he gave me some medication. I had AFib, and I was getting these flutters in my chest, really, really disturbing. And he gave me some medication, and they went away immediately. So, but I like him. I like him. He's been practicing a long time. But that's who my cardiologist is, Dr. DiFilippo in Montclair. Practices out of Mountainside Hospital. That's where I was. I was at Mountainside. And let me tell you something about Mountainside Hospital. Boy, God, the food is horrible there. I didn't eat for a week. I lost weight. I can't afford to lose weight. I didn't eat for a week. The food was absolutely horrible. Horrible. Then I went to the rehabilitation center, and the food was just as bad. You know how hospital food is. It's horrible. It's horrible. So, but I went to Alaris in Cedar Grove. I'm sure, Patty, you've heard of it. A very good hospital for rehabilitation. So I was there for a couple of weeks. I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk because when I was at Mountainside, I was in bed for, how many days was it? 19 days. And each day that you're in bed is equivalent to 3 days. So I was actually it was almost a month that I was in bed and didn't get out of bed. And what happened was I couldn't walk. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't walk. So I was in a wheelchair and a walker. So that's why I went to the rehabilitation center to actually learn how to walk again, doing exercises and everything. Let me tell you, that's a scary feeling when you can't walk. You know, it really is. Hi, Emmanuel. How are you? Yes, I am feeling better, Emmanuel. Thank you so much. I am feeling better. I'm getting stronger, obviously, because I'm doing the show. But as I mentioned earlier, Emmanuel, which you probably missed, is that I was in no shape to do a show when I was ill. I didn't want to convey being miserable to my audience, which I probably would have done, you know. And like I said, a show should be happy and upbeat, and you know, a little laughter there, whatever, you know, but not to make your listeners bring them down. Oh, Patricia, you're oh, Dr. K and Glen Ridge, okay. Okay, I've heard of him. Well, I did have, actually, Crazy Kid, I did have some people bring me some food from the outside. Veal Parmesan sandwich, you know, capellini. So, you know, I did get some food from the outside, but I just don't know. What are these people thinking of when they're making this food? Yeah, Crazy Kid is saying it's hard to do a show when you're not feeling the level of happiness that you wish to present to your friends that watch you. You're absolutely right. I mean, I was miserable. You know, and then I go to do a show last Sunday, and the new medication that I took made me very nauseous, so I had to cancel that show. Then I did a show last night, and my internet system went down. So I haven't had good luck. But yeah, you're right. I mean, you know, I'm kind of upbeat now, but not as upbeat as I'd like to be, even more so, because I'm usually more so upbeat. But I'm getting there. Oh, Patty, you're in too much. Yeah, Let me tell you quickly what happened. One night, I'll make this very brief. One night, I was getting flutters in my chest, very uncomfortable. I couldn't sleep. So the next day, I went to work. I had an appointment the next day to see my chiropractor to get adjusted. So I went into work, and I wasn't feeling good at all. So I went to go see my chiropractor to get adjustment. I left work, and after he adjusted me, he said to me, "Ralph, do me a favor, lay down. I'm going to check something." So he gets out the stethoscope and he checks my heart. He takes his stethoscope off and he looks at me and goes, "I want you to go to the emergency room right now. Go to Mountainside Hospital." I said, "What?" He says, "Yeah, I want you to go to emergency right now." He says, "Your heart's beating at 150 beats per minute." He says, "You could either have a stroke or a heart attack. Go right now." So I left and I went to the hospital. Now, by some miracle, there was nobody in the emergency room. Nobody, no patients. So it was really strange, because usually when you go into an emergency room, there's usually some people there or it's crowded. Nobody. So they saw me right away. They checked my heart and they said, "We have to admit you." I said, "What?" "We have to admit you. You cannot go home." So they admitted to me. And then they started taking all tests, a PET scan, CAT scan, MRIs, head x-ray, everything. And they came up with the diagnosis of AFib and a leaky heart valve. And then they started, and I also had a stroke, a very, very tiny, tiny stroke called a TIA, which is really nothing, which didn't affect me. But through the head x-ray, they saw that, I had a slight stroke, but it was nothing. TIA is nothing. So then I saw a neurologist. But I couldn't breathe. I was having difficulty breathing. And I thought it was from smoking. I quit smoking, but it wasn't. It was from the AFib. So I saw the heart doctor there, and he prescribed some medication, which made me feel, it took the fluttering away. So I was there for 2 weeks. They were monitoring me. And then, like I said, it was meant to be. I went to my chiropractor, and, the normal heart rate is, I had 150. The normal heart rate is 100. I believe it's 105 and below. So, like, thank God there was an angel watching me. I also drink a lot of coffee. Not anymore, though. And I was very dehydrated. I don't drink water, and I drink a lot of coffee. I drink like 6 cups of coffee a day. The doctor said, no, you cannot do that no more. So I cut it down to like maybe 1 or 2 the most. And I started drinking water to become hydrated because I was very dehydrated. In fact, I went into the hospital last week for 2 hours to become hydrated. They put this, I did a short on it, as a matter of fact. They put this intravenous, it's filled with water and something else, and they hydrate you, and you got to sit in a chair for 2 hours. And the recliners there are very comfortable. They give you a warm blanket that's heated, that they take out of some kind of oven or something. And they ask you if you want anything like a muffin or a coffee, while you're sitting there. And the recliners go all the way back. It's really nice. But sitting in a chair for 2 hours, it's a pain in the ass. So that was the story. That was the story. So now I'm walking better. I could stand up and I could walk. I can't run fully yet, but I can walk, without a wheelchair or a walker. So that's good. Oh no, I can't smoke no more. I quit 2 months ago, but I cannot smoke no more. That's out. Definitely out. William from Brooklyn, how are you? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. So that's it, guys. That's basically my show. Next Sunday night, Show Me the Proof. That's the title of next week's show. Show Me the Proof, which happens every day in life on YouTube and off YouTube. And it has to deal with more so negativity than positivity. You know that expression, misery loves company? People love to gossip about things. I'm not saying everybody, but there are people that love to gossip about negativity or somebody and what's happening in their life or what they did or what they're doing. So that's next week's show. Show Me the Proof. Guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me. It was good seeing everybody. I appreciate you coming in. A lot of you I haven't seen in a while. William from Brooklyn, I know that you stopped over at the show last night, but what happened was my internet system went down completely and I couldn't bring it back up. So I know you stopped in. I think, Emmanuel, you were there too, if I'm not mistaken. Patty, I haven't seen in a while, but it's good to see Patty. Bella stopped in. Crazy Kid. Crazy Kid, I hope things get better for you. And they will. They will. That's true. Crazy Kid is saying there are people out there in the world that just want to bring people and everyone down into their level. That's true. That's true. I often think that sometimes people love, not everybody, but some people love to not only gossip, but talk about negative things about individuals. I see it all the time. And I don't get involved in it. If it doesn't concern me, I don't get involved in it. And I always say this. My friends always say, "Where do you live, under a rock, Ralph?" I don't. If it doesn't concern me, I don't get involved in it because, number one, that's kid stuff. I'm at a point in my life where, I'm older now and I have my own issues to deal with that I got to hear about somebody else's, misfortune, which you don't even know if it's true. Show me the proof. Edwin, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you, Edwin. I'm doing a show, Edwin. Emmanuel, I'm very glad to be back. And I mentioned this earlier, I don't know if you heard this, is that as a show host, content creator, and because I've done this for many years in some form of the entertainment industry, is that when you do something that and I mentioned this before, when you do something that you enjoy and it's fun, and then suddenly it's taken away from you through no fault of your own, you do miss it. I do, and I did miss not doing shows. I did miss my listeners. I did miss conversing with the people in the parlor. You miss that. If I didn't miss it, then I wouldn't be back. I wouldn't be back. That's the bottom line. I wouldn't come back. like when you're a show host and a content creator, is there a time to quit YouTube? You know, when you get fed up? No, I don't think you ever really should quit YouTube. You know, if you're doing something that you enjoy and it's fun, you may take a little break, you know, maybe a week or so, but I you know, not fully quit. Thank you, Edwin. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling stronger. I'm getting stronger every day. I'm on a lot of vitamins, a lot of minerals, certain kinds of medication. So I'm doing all right. I'm closely being monitored by the doctors, which is a good thing. Is Project DARPA here? Is Project DARPA? Oh, hi, Project DARPA. How are you? I'm sorry, I didn't see you. Thank you for stopping by. The show is ending, but Patty, what are you talking about Halloween? Where'd that come from? Is it 5 months away? Wait, this is what? June? July, August, September, October? No, this is June. July, August, September. 4 months away. 4 months away. Hey, let me tell you something. June is going to fly right by. Look how fast May went. Okay? The summer is going to fly right by. Before you know it, we're going to be into September. The kids will be getting out of school in another 2 weeks here. And then before you know it, they'll be going back to school. And the summer is just going to fly by. Well, you know, when I used to decorate my house for Halloween, I used to be thinking about Halloween in the month of July, because the month of July was when I started to make some kind of character or some kind of prop and plan it for Halloween. So, you know, and Halloween happens to be, and still is, one of my favorite seasons. You know, when I had my house, I decorated my house elaborately. I mean, really big. I mean, I was on the news every year. I was in all the papers. I mean, I'm not bragging, but this is just something that I did, you know. But I don't have a house anymore, so I can't do that. But yeah, the summer. Oh, Edwin, by the way, I want to say you had the last couple shows were very, very good. Very, very good. I went back and listened to the replay on them, because sometimes I miss your shows because you do them at different hours. But I do go back and listen to the replay. So the last couple of shows that you did, like maybe the last 3 or 4 shows, were very, very good. And I see that your audience is growing, which is good. And I know you don't take donations, and you know, I know it's a channel that's dedicated to the Blessed Mother and God, and you know, that's good. We need more channels like that. You tell it like it is. You don't pull any punches. You know, if somebody messes up, they're blocked. That's it forever. You know, and I'm kind of like the same way too. But like I said earlier in the show, I've been very, very lucky since I've been doing my show. My listeners are great. They've always been respectful to one another. They've always been respectful to me, and I have no complaints. Now, what's to say that, you know, somebody may come in and cause havoc? Well, I mean, like I said, there's all different kind of listeners. You know, you have your dedicated listeners, you have your listeners that stop in once in a while when they're not busy, and then of course you have the jerks that come in to wreak havoc and, you know, harass people and harass you know what I'm saying? And these are grown adults. These are grown adults. You know, YouTube has to put down and enforce some laws of what to do and what not to do, because they are too lenient. Everybody gets away with murder on YouTube. They need to enforce stronger laws. Edwin is saying that hurricane season starts this month, June. Please clear the 3rd floor of your mansion. My family and I will be staying with you all summer. Oh my God. And crazy kid decorates for Halloween every day. He just doesn't clean the cobwebs to keep the aurora the spooky thing. Yeah. Listen, I love Halloween. I mean, I'm a kid that never grew up. I'm a kid that never grew up. And of course, this year too, I'll have a Halloween show. I had one last year. All right, guys. Patty, President DARPA, Crazy Kid, Edwin, Emmanuel, Bella. Who else came in? Who else? Who else did I miss? I don't want to miss anybody here. Make sure I got everybody. Oh, William from Brooklyn. And that's it. I covered everybody. Did I? Yep. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, next Sunday, show me the proof. That is the title of the show. Show me the proof. On that note, everybody have a great weekend. We got some good weather in store here in northern New Jersey. It's going to be beautiful. Before you know it, it'll be officially summer. It's getting darker later here. And before you know it, summer will be over. Mark my words. Before you know it, it'll be the 4th of July. Right? It'll be the 4th of July. So, I'm going to end the show with this song by a cover band that's really great. And I forgot the name. But anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Stay well. God bless. And I'll see you next Sunday. Or maybe sooner. Good night, everybody.